Pop Trigger time! Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Samantha Shocker. I'm so happy to be back. Brett, you did an exceptional job filling in for me, possibly too exceptional.
Stop it, thank you.
And we have a really great guest today. I'm so excited to introduce her because I've been a fan of her for years. We've all been a fan, depending on which show you loved of hers. So without further ado, our co-host today, our very own Brie Esbrigg with the sparkly eyes. Oh, and the wink. You can subscribe to her YouTube channel at Brie Esbrigg. First time in the Pop Trigger studio, you may know her from Fame, or Young and the Restless, or Walker, Texas Ranger. Most recently, Pretty Little Liars. Nia Peeples is here.
Yeah, I love the applause. You just give me applause. It makes me so happy.
Does it make you so happy?
Yay.
We're so happy that you're here. Now, we are going to continue to discuss with Nia more about Pretty Little Liars, your career, also a really cool online project you're doing right now that redefines beauty.
Yep.
Really positive message for the youth. So we're going to do more of that. So stay tuned for her Q&A and interview soon. And Brett Ehrlich, no longer on the War Room on Current TV.
Screw it, who needs it? Huh?
Yes. And then you can catch me live tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, every night on Dr. Drew on Call on HLN. All right, thank you so much for being here, Nia. Let's get right to it. Both Wentworth Miller and Nickelodeon's Fred have come out and revealed that they're gay. So two different actors, two different circumstances. I want to touch on both of them. So let's first start with Lucas Cruikshank. He's 19 years old. You guys know him as Fred. He created that over-the-top character on Nickelodeon. So in his coming out video, his was on YouTube, and his was a Q&A with himself, and then his friend, she's an actress, Jennifer Veal, and he told the fans, quote, "I'm gay.
I'm gay."
And then he started laughing uncomfortably, and he said, you know what, this feels so weird saying it on camera. So then he turned to his friend Jennifer and said,
How come you didn't have to make a video saying you're straight?
now let's talk about Wentworth Miller. So Wentworth Miller, you guys know him from Prison Break, remember?
Right.
God, so cute. I had a huge crush on him. So he was recently invited to show his recent film in a Russian film festival. So he declined their invitation because of everything that's going on with Russia. So this is what he wrote in the invite declining. I am deeply troubled by the current attitude toward and treatment of gay men and women by the Russian government. Amen. So then he goes on to say, quote, the situation is no way acceptable, and I cannot, in good conscience, participate in a celebratory occasion hosted by a country where people like myself are being systematically denied their basic right to live and love openly. Perhaps when and if circumstances improve, I'll be free to make a different choice. End quote. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Does this mean Fred's gay?
Wow, who's next? SpongeBob?
First Fred video I've understood.
Takes a lot of courage, gazillion points. And they don't even need to split the gazillion points. They each get their gazillion points. Both of their coming out situations are completely different. One's 19, one's 41. But I can't imagine, like we talked about in the Troye video, the amount of courage it must take. And like you pointed out, Brie, why they even have to come out. So let's first start with Lucas. What did you guys think about the video?
Well, I know like why you have to come out, like to your parents or your friends. That I totally get that. But on the internet, it's just a whole. You're like throwing yourself into a world of like hate or love. Hopefully, more love.
Right.
I love the way he did it. I love the way Lucas did it.
Yeah.
It was very casual. It was slipped into a Q&A. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that it was like the 17th question of 20. Yes. And then when they were done, they answered other questions.
Yeah.
Next question.
So they just moved over into the next thing. And yeah, I guess thinking back, you say he laughed uncomfortably, but it was almost like, yeah, this is weird. It was weird how not weird it felt.
Exactly.
The power doesn't come in saying it and seeing how people respond. The power comes in being comfortable enough with yourself to say it, regardless of how people respond.
So hopefully the more that this happens, they won't have to feel the need to come out because it's accepted.
Exactly.
So what did you guys think of though? Because a lot of people argue, would he have made this video if he was in the middle of shooting Fred, if he had a video for a movie for Nickelodeon, would he have come out?
I don't think they would have let him.
Interesting.
Nickelodeon.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's in the contract? You can't?
Is that legal?
That's on the contract.
Is that?
That's weird,
No.
sorry.
It doesn't matter if he would have or not. I think now's the right time, so now's the right time.
The way he did it was perfect.
Yeah, so to that point, because on our previous video, Troye, we talked about celebrating him and his YouTube video coming out, but a lot of people were upset with a number of reasons within the video, but about how we were insensitive asking the question that would it affect his career? But that's something that they have to consider, and unfortunately, until the people watching the television shows and the people purchasing tickets at the box office are accepting of all people One Love, it is going to affect their
It's
career.
a fair question, yeah.
Yeah.
I
The central argument behind how it would affect his career is that then people in the box office wouldn't be able to believe that this guy can play a guy who's into girls. And it's so weird because the whole thing about movies is that these actors are not these actual characters. They're playing a role. Like, you realize that, Troye Sivan was not actually a Wolverine. Like, he was just playing a Wolverine.
Right.
Like, he was able to make us believe it because he's an actor.
And unfortunately, it is a thing. Okay, so let's talk about Wentworth Miller, because this is quite a different stance, and this is so interesting. What do you think about him using this timing to come out to make a point that he is not supporting what's going on in Russia right now?
I think it's perfect.
Yes.
It's perfect because you know what? Your sexual orientation is really no one's business.
Exactly.
But he feels that now's the time because it makes a difference.
Yes.
In a lot of people's lives, he can make a difference, and so I think it's perfect.
I love that at his age and at this time, he's doing it right now, like at the perfect time, and it's just so admirable. And if you don't already love him, which I don't know how anyone doesn't, because he's such a badass, now I just love him 10 times more.
Yeah.
I'm with BuzzFeed on this. Like, I was absolutely shocked to find out that he was 41. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting too to see what happens with other celebrities that are boycotting doing any work that has to do with Russia, or coming up now with the Olympics, what Olympians may boycott. So good for Wentworth Miller. Very awesome. What do you guys think about Wentworth Miller coming out and Lucas Cruikshank, Fred of Nickelodeon? Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger.